Hello, my name is Anthony, and I wanted to help everybody in my community get informed on effects of theft in our community. Theft can not only hurt yourself, it can hurt retailers, consumers, your family. It hurts everybody inside. Obviously, if you're a person who steals an item, you're committing a crime. Also, I feel as if you are committing the crime of stealing something, you shouldn't feel too great about yourself. Most kids nowadays, I feel, almost brag that they stole something from a store or they didn't get caught. You just shouldn't feel good about yourself for stealing from a store. Also, your self-worth of how you actually see yourself in your own eyes should go down. I mean, if you're stealing from a store because you just want to, you have the money and you just want to steal something out of pure enjoyment, then you should probably check your reality and do some maybe classes to help you. Also, I just wanted to bring up that our society around us frowns upon any type of act like that. Even trying to get a job will be very hard later if you are committed in the crime. And also, even getting community service, as low as that is extremely hard to get with a theft charge. And that is pretty crazy. The loss to the retailer comes in many different ways. The first is the loss of revenue. When you steal that item, that person loses that money that they had bought in bulk. Not only does that hurt them, but it hurts all the consumers around you, even yourself later. When you steal that item, they lose that money on that product, and then they have to maybe raise the prices on that product because they lost it. That really can hurt yourself, even in the long run, and everybody around you also. The retailer not only has to maybe do that, but he also has to pay for anti-theft classes for maybe his employees so that they understand and see actions that people that commit the crimes tend to do. That can cost a lot of money. Also, setting up security cameras and anything else that has to do with security so that they can catch the thief next time. This is all coming out of the pocket from the retailer. Any locally owned business that you are in has these types of problems from people. So I just talked about the impact of theft on a retailer inside of your community. I also wanted to talk about the consumer, the person going in and buying things from the retailer. So say that you are going into a store and you buy a candy bar one week and it is 75 cents. And 6 months later, the retailer has to raise its price because those products keep getting stolen. Once product is up on the shelf and people steal it, that just makes an impact on the actual product that is still left. So he will not make as much money. So therefore, he has to raise the prices on the product. So maybe 6 months later, the product will be now $1.50, which is double the price of what it was. Also, another bad thing with consumers is that if there are a lot of crimes in one store, people might put the high-ticketed or high-priced product behind shelves so that the people that might want to come steal it can't steal it. That also hurts them too because they can't. The normal consumer that wants to come in and maybe see that product can't even see it because it's hidden almost. Also, it's really bad for every consumer that goes into a retail store because almost everyone is looked at as untrustworthy. The retailer won't look at a single person and say, oh, they're a good person, they won't steal, because you just don't know. It has a huge impact on the consumers, which is yourself and everyone around you. And now I want to talk about the effect it has on your actual community. And it has a huge impact on it. Even just a few selfish acts of theft has a huge impact on your community. And the reason for this is because, like I said before, the retailer has to increase his prices maybe. And which may cause all the consumers around him to shop elsewhere because they see that the product is lower at other places. And this also causes problems with the consumer and how they have to travel farther distances and use their gas and use the wear of their tires to get to that other place because it has a lower price. So that also is hurting the consumer as well. And in your community, this all has to do with people around you. Also with the retailer, if they don't have as many sales, it may cause them to close down, and it will have a huge impact on your community as well. Some businesses that have a lot of theft inside of it may have to relocate and go somewhere else to a safer place, and that does not help our community as well also. And along with maybe going to another place to buy something because it is cheaper, we'll have to use public transportation maybe because of not a car. And that is a huge use of our community as well. I mean, if you could usually walk to one place and that product was the same price as another place 10 miles down the road, then you obviously are using the resources that the community is giving you just to buy a product. So along with the effects it has on your community, I would like to bring up the things that your community has to do to make everybody aware of what's going on in their community. If they have a lot of theft going on, then they may have to bring up meetings and projects so that everybody can get aware of it. And that can cost, I think it is up to $30 billion annually just in meetings and projects to make your community aware. This also takes a lot of time out of police officers and your just community in general with projects trying to clean up your community and make it a safer place. They need time for those projects, and when they have to take time out of their day and their week and their months to do awareness projects on theft, they are probably not going to get it done by the end of the year. I think that if parents start to make their children aware of the impacts that it actually has on your community when they're young, then when they grow up, and as they grow up, they can share with other people how important it is not to steal from businesses in your community. The only person whose behavior we can control is our own. And you want to try to have complete control over your own behavior. I feel like that's the only way that our community will be able to stop theft in our community. If everybody can implement that into their lives, not only will it help our community, but it'll help you in the long run. I also wanted to bring up a pretty shocking statistic. According to the National Association of Shoplifting, there are approximately 27 million shoplifters in the United States, which adds up to about 1 in 11 people. I think it's time to realize that, theft is wrong. It's not just a daring, or it's not just something that, brings excitement in your life. It is completely wrong for so many ways. It can hurt the individual, the consumer, the retailer, and your entire community as a whole. I feel like if we implement some courses on shoplifting or just share information in our schools as kids are younger, they will be able to help everybody and themselves in the long run also. I just think that